Welcome back, everybody, to the Off the Tools podcast with your host, Jimmy Hong and Joshua Grudenbohr. Today, we're going to be diving into a little bit around delegation and just how to keep yourself off the job site. It seems like most of the painters and remodelers' favorite thing to do sometimes is to just hang out there all day, every day. But we find that, it seems quite self-defeating. So off the top of your head here, Jimmy, when we're looking to set up crews, because it really isn't that setup process that allows you to stay off the actual project. What are those beginning things that we're kind of keeping in mind when training those crews to keep them a little bit more self-sufficient, you think?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I think it all starts with expectations. When you first hire them, that this is going to be the normal, right? What they're going to spend some time with them at the beginning, a week or two, to make sure that they can talk to the clients, be self-sufficient. And then you're going to slowly get yourself off the job site a little bit so that they can start doing some stuff. And if they need you, get on a phone call. So setting that expectation with them to make sure that they know that it's just normal, that you're not going to be there at all times, would be, I think, first. And then let's say you find the best applicant, they understand it, then they should be shadowing you for the first week or two. You're working with them kind of with doing the projects, and you're there to coach them, right? You're coaching them on what it looks like to start the project, right? What time to get there, how to talk to the clients, and where to set up, how to start the project with your supervision. And the more you do it for the first, let's say, week or two, it becomes more of a habit. And then you slowly start transitioning out of it, where you're there for maybe the beginning to starting project. So you're there coaching them when they're the ones talking to the client now. They get started. Now you go to the next job site or go pick up materials, do other things. And then you come back, maybe check in on them once or twice. And then at the end of the project. And then eventually you're going to have them start it while you're available for phone calls. So having that process where, 1 or 2 weeks with the right person, with the right expectations, and you've already walked them through what a perfect start and to the finish of a job site, I'd say would be your best bet to be able to be self-sufficient and step away from the job sites.
Yeah, the immediate thing that comes to mind there too is it's obviously everybody's going to have their process, and it can be better or worse in terms of training your people to be self-sufficient. But it's where does this all start? This all starts at the hiring too, right? It's who are you hiring? Are you hiring the person that always wants to ask questions rather than figure it out for themselves? A trait that I really, really try and hire for is proactiveness. It's what is their proclivity to doing things on their own, not constantly needing direction. And then on top of it all, something that I used to tell my crews all the time is I would go, you're doing a good job, and this is the best measurement you can possibly give is you're doing a good job if you never see me. If the less you see me, the better job you're doing. And that's the number one metric for my entire business in terms of production. Because why am I there? I'm there for problems. I'm not there. And again, I bring the mice coffee, whatever, morale boost, again, whatever. But the less you see me, the better you're doing.
100%, right? Nobody wants to be micromanaged.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody wants to. That's just a common thing everywhere. If micromanaging just kills your freedom, and your painters don't like it, you don't like it, nobody wins. It's such a lose-lose battle. What would you say would be some tips around enrolling people to, I guess, never see you on the job sites?
It's a really easy sell. I don't even think there's an enrollment process necessary. It's you hit it to start where you said just expectations, right? Where in the same breath, you remember how we talked about how when I'm hiring people, I tell them that my favorite thing in the world to do is give raises. It's these counterintuitive statements where I go as well, the less you see me, the better you're doing. It's like both of these things seem so weird. The boss wants to give raises. He never wants to be around me. He doesn't want to micromanage me. But those are just expectations. You can expect to get raises on a good job. You can expect not to see me very often. So it's like these are things that I feel like painters like ultimately want anyways, but the business owners just fail to give it to them. So there's no like making them see the bright side of me not being around. It is so evident. Like nobody wants their boss looking over them 24/7 at all. So again, as long as you frame it so that they understand from the beginning that you're not going to be around a lot is good. I'd say like the tough part about making sure that everything can be delegated is more that you have the systems in place that allows you the freedom to be off the job site.
Yeah. What would you say? Like, let's say you're perfect start to end. What would that look like in your business?
That's a crazy question. You want me to give away all the secrets? We'll pay for this, Jimmy. Man, like real plain and simple. Well, like where do we start? Where do we start? Do we start on sales process? Do we start on hiring the person? Are you talking about like job start?
Let's go job start. I think that would be a good one to help people kind of reverse maybe that they're already stuck right now and how they reverse it. So 100%.
Yeah. So when you're starting jobs, it's so funny that we're talking about expectations because it's like, okay, so you set great expectations with your painters, let's say, but now you need to set some expectations with your client, especially if you didn't do so when you were in the actual sales process of things. So I would always give a client manual at the start. This is going to go over everything from rain days to asking them not to stand over the painters when they're painting. Again, it's not just the boss that they don't like being watched over. It's the clients too. Like nobody performs well. So give them a client manual. It's going to go over all those things. It's also your chance to get referrals. In this client manual, it's going to be like, hey, we offer $150 off if you can give us somebody that is, willing to get a paint job done. And $150 is a lot of money, but no, it isn't for a $3,000 job, $10,000 job, whatever it is. After you're done that, system from there is you need to identify where to set up camp. Are we going to the garage? Do we have a shed? Where your sundry is going to go, where if it rains, they're not going to get rained out. But also, you don't want to put it in the middle of a house if you're doing an exterior job and then you walk through the house, but you have paint on your shoes because there's paint on the grass, and then everyone's seen the paint footprints before. And those are no fun. But again, just identifying where camp is and then getting everything out that we need. It's like, what type of job are we doing? Are we doing a window job? Okay. The caulking's cracking. We might need some sort of scraper or something. And it's like getting out all your tools, making sure you're set up for everything. And then even from there, it's getting the painters to go introduce themselves. Hey, my name's Jeff. I've been with XYZ company for XYZ years. You're in good hands. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here to take care of you. You're in the service industry. And I think that's Bob's your uncle. I mean, realistically, that's starting. It's like, obviously you're going to have like your processes all throughout the job, and stuff like that too. But it's like, if you set the right expectations with the clients, you start on a good note in terms of getting the painters to introduce themselves. You have a plan of attack in terms of how the job is going to go and how it's going to start. It's like, well, what else is there to do? Maybe bring them a bottle of champagne. There's nothing more you can do than that.
Nice. Yeah. And like, well said, man. And I think it's just so important when it comes down to the bare bones, right? Just having the same way to start a job and to end a job, like the structure is just so important. It's like, are you starting every job the same? Like, are you ending every job the same? Are you showing your painters to do the same thing over and over again? Or is every job start just chaos, completely different? You just can't scale with different, right? So having like a process in place doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be something that can be just like being able to do it over and over again. So your start job, right? Is it the same for getting there, how you're talking to the clients, showing them the project, introducing yourself, and then how to collect payment and all those different things. Is everything the same? Right? Of course, different projects are going to be different a little bit, right? Like interior versus exterior, but starting the job, ending the job should be exactly the same, so that, your business is, the McDonald's, you got systems in place that your painters can take that on, right? And everything else, if they have questions with a different type of job, no problem, right? You can still help out.
Mm-hmm. The level of your delegation in your business just falls to the level of your leadership skills.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like your leadership skills are comprised by systems. Your leadership skills are comprised by personable skills, your relationship with your employees. If your employees resent you, or, who hasn't heard the story of like someone that doesn't like their boss? It's every other person these days, right? So it's like, you're going to be on the job site way more if they don't like you, or if they're harboring resentment. Like, whenever I have like a problem or challenge, with any of my employees, we're entering therapy. We're going to figure this out. We're going to hash it out, or we're breaking up. Like, it's couples therapy, truly. And it's like, I don't want someone to feel a certain way and then go home and stew on it. It's like, again, we've all heard, people that like have their evening ruined just because their boss ruined their day. And so I'm not here for that. But it's like, if they like me, they have the system set out. I've given them a clear plan of attack.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you kind of do in terms of delegation? I mean, again, it kind of starts that hiring process. Who are you hiring? I swear, good leadership is funny because if you just hire the right person, you don't even need to be a good leader. That might be a hot take.
I don't think it's a hot take at all, but like a good person that comes in with the right expectations. Yeah, well said, man. Like, just do you have the right people that want to take on the responsibility?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You should ask yourself that with every person that you're trying to bring on, right? They're going to be representing you and your brand while you're not there to the clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
if I was still running my painting company, what I would do is I would almost a pricing sheet in like my onboarding for my painters, and I would have coordinating tasks, duties, and responsibilities with coordinating pay raises, so they know when they're doing this, they get paid that. When they're doing that, they get paid this. And then now they have a clear plan of attack. And that, by the way, that's not only their roadmap to success, that's your roadmap to delegation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like it also ties in like whenever we ever gave raises, it was always because they were, doing something to earn it. Right. And that's a great way to put it. Right. Like, if you have a clear path of what they need to do to get raises, you best believe they're going to start looking at that sheet a lot to see how they get paid more, because it's going to help you take things off your plate. You get to pay them more. Everybody wins.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and at the end of the day too, it's like, are you doing the right things in your business as a leader to make sure you can delegate? Right. One of the best things I got from our coach was it's like, are you telling your painters what to do, or are you coaching?
I was just gonna say this. That's so funny.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, are you telling them like what to do, or are you coaching them to think for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You tell them, guess what? If you keep telling them what to do, you become that boss that they will always rely on you when things get a little bit tough. Maybe not even that tough, but they're always going to give you phone calls. They're always going to be like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Even though you've shown them 40 times, right? Because you're just not helping them learn how to think for themselves, not just for their business, but also just in personal, right? So when you think of like coaching versus telling, like what would you say that means to you?
No, Jimmy, I want to ask you a question, but tell me about that voicemail you left our coach. Do you remember?
Oh, so yes. One of my voicemails I left for my coach when I was running my painting business. He helped me. Like, he taught me how to think for myself so much, to the point where there was a point in my business where I called him and I was like, hey, I have this situation. How do I figure this out? And midway when I was leaving that voicemail, I was like, it just clicked to me. I was like, oh wait, I'm going to solve it. I probably know the answer. So in the voicemail, I was like, yeah, so here's my situation. This is the issue that's coming up. You're probably going to ask me, what do I think I should do to solve it? So here's my thoughts of what I should do, and get things like to actually do it. And then you're going to ask me, okay, like, why do you think that's going to be right? And I'm going to be, because I'm going to do it this way, and it's going to make sense when I'm up on the ladder, putting up the ladder there because there's just not space. And we're going to try that out. If it doesn't work, then we'll try this instead. And it was like just me leaving a voicemail of having my own coaching conversation with myself, because that's just what a great coach does. Mm-hmm. Right? It was just a hilarious voicemail that I left. I wish he saved it, because it was just like, this is how it is, right? Like you know the answer probably like 8 or 9 out of 10 times. Mm-hmm. You're just looking for someone to be like, yes, that's it. But believe in yourself.
No, it's the perfect example, right? It's like, you're asking somebody, what do they think they should do, or asking them questions about what's happening so much that now they're just having the internal conversation before you can even have the conversation, because the answer was inside them the whole time.
It's like a Pixar movie.
Totally. I don't care. Like, if your IQ is 43, it's like, let's be honest here, folks. Painting or remodeling or trades is not rocket science. Some are harder than others. Okay, this is very, very true. However, with some critical thinking skills, you can get there, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just the quality of the questions that you ask your employees is going to determine the quality of self-assurance that they're going to be able to provide for your company.
Yeah. And it's so easy. It's just so easy for someone to be like, oh, how do I do this? And you just snap into like, oh, just do it like this. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just such an easy way. And I think, honestly, throughout my years of coaching, and even at the beginning, it was like, the more I figured this out, it was like, wow, that's just so lazy. Right? It's like, you're just giving them the quick, shortcut. Yeah. It's like, well, doesn't benefit them because they don't learn. Doesn't benefit anybody, right? Like, I want them to be a leader for themselves versus like just getting to the answer quick.
Mm-hmm. No, that's such a good way to put it. Lazy, I think, is like the best way to describe that, because it's like, mm-hmm. Yes, it's more work on your end to bring them through this guided process of asking them, okay, so, if you're trying to get the second story soffits, but the tree's in the way because it's uneven ground, like, what do you think you should do? Right? I could very well just tell you, put the ladder pivot on the hill, and that'll be your solution right there. However, next time there's a hill involved, I'm going to get the exact same question. Mm-hmm. Right? So when it comes to like delegation and setting yourself up for success, it's such a game of putting the work in on the front end to avoid it on the back end.
Mm-hmm. 100%, man. Like the coaching overtelling, like, just coach, don't be lazy. Don't just give them the answer, and it'll just help them to become a better leader, and then also help you be able to delegate. Everybody wins from there. Mm-hmm. Right? And you might have some people, like, I'm not a coach. Like, these guys won't do that. And it's like, well, if you don't know how to like coach, it's just asking what they think pretty like full time. Totally. Right? It's like, anytime that comes up, like you said, right? What do you think we should do? How do you think we overcome this? Right? And it's like, if you have someone that's like, quote unquote, maybe uncoachable, or just like isn't seeing the value from it, then you got to make it about them. Right? It's like, why are you even doing this coaching for them? Right? It's like, hey, Jacob, I want you to become this leader like I know you can be, because in the interview, you told me this is your goal, right? You want to get better communication for whatever reason, right? The only way I can do that and to give you better critical thinking skills is by helping you develop that skill, asking these questions, right? If I just tell you, then it's just going to be, you're not going to learn anything. And if we stop learning, that's when we don't continue to gain skills, right? The whole point is I want to give you everything you need to become a leader that I know you can.
Yeah, there's this phrase, people listen to reasons, not rules. So that's exactly that, right? Where it's like, hey, Jacob, I want to make sure that when you start your entrepreneurial journey in the future that you said you wanted to do, that you have the skills necessary to actually do that. So, this might be a good time to actually, help out your fellow employees a little bit more, or be more receptive to them asking for help, or, whatever it might be. Let's kick this up a notch though here, Jimmy. It's one thing to obviously like train your own employees and stuff like that, but truly like that's level one. And level one, like figuring it out for yourself, guys, just ask more questions, stop giving answers. Okay, level complete. I swear to God, you can do it in a couple weeks. It's not that hard.
Check.
Level two, okay, now you have a project manager who you're relaying all this to. Mm-hmm. Right. And you're trying to get them to get, the actual reasons out of them rather than the rules. So again, now you're trying to convey to them, hey, you stop telling people what to do. You need to start asking them what they think they should do. Because again, that's good leaders. You had a pretty good PM when you were running your business. Maybe what were the best traits that you found in them? Mm-hmm. And then what did you find worked well in terms of developing them as a leader? Because they came a long way, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out Nimit. This guy was just such a incredible leader, and just so coachable. I think the two biggest traits was he was assertive, and he was also just willing and just coachable. I guess 3 traits. So willingness, coachable, and assertive. Assertive, not necessary, but it does help. But man, like with all these different things in place, it's like, well, he's assertive because he's able to talk to clients, and if something comes up, he doesn't shy away from it. Right. So that was an awesome trait to see. And then just that willingness to learn, to, do good job, like good work for clients. And just coachable. He was willing to like listen and also want to know like how to like continue improving. So I think one of the big things too is like they got to see the value, right? As a project manager, they got to see the value of like, coaching versus telling. Because they might come to you and be like, why would I coach someone when I could just give them the give the answer to them and it's faster? Right? You got to know the reason. If they don't know the reason why you're coaching versus telling, they're not going to do it. Right? So with something like that, it's like, it's so simple. It's pretty simple. You can just ask them too, right? Like, hey, why do you think we coach and not give them the answer? Mm-hmm. Coaching them on another level again. So when it comes down to this stuff, making sure if you're going to be bringing on a project manager like this, then they got to see the vision and also see the value of coaching. Make sure that you can also make sure you can do so.
100%. With Nimit specifically, what was maybe like a situation where like he showed that, he could think on his feet and you knew like that was your guy?
Yeah. One of my favorites is, and I think I brought this up before. We got I think it was like a 4 out of 5 star. And he called me. So it's like, oh, we got a 4 out of 5 star, and we strive to get 5 out of 5 and do everything we can to like earn it, right? Not just to get it, but to earn it. So we had a whole coaching conversation around like, okay, what else do you think we can do? Right? In terms of to earn that 5 star. So talking about like, and then we brainstormed other ways, and essentially not everyone would do this, but he went back, talked to the clients after we had a coaching call, and figured out the reason why we wouldn't get a 5 star, or why we didn't get a 5 star, and how we can earn it. And it was just like a small little touch up there that all the difference. And he was able to just take care of it. I didn't have to show up to the job, and he saw the value. He saw the value of why that 5 star made such a big difference to keep the standards high. One of my favorites, because he was willing to figure it out and also deliver what we promised, the highest quality value or highest quality project to our clients. He just really cared.
Yeah, I think And you know what? Nimit only did that because he believed in you. And like when I was looking for a project manager and it was only just me managing the painters and stuff like that, you know, I was mostly just looking for somebody that believed in me wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, because if they believe in me, you know, when it comes to coaching already, I'm not selling you on the idea that what I'm saying or what I'm bringing you through in terms of process is going to be good and beneficial for you. No, that's already taken care of. So, you know, we start to have these coaching conversations and you believe in me already, then the quality of our conversations could be so much better because now, you know, you're already, you know, treating my word as God, if you will. God is a metaphor because God is only anything that you put above you, you know? So I'm not God. And let's put that out there right now. However, or I might be, who knows, we might all be, but, it's a point of saying that it's like, you know, if you don't even have like the hierarchical structure in place, you know, in their mind, it's like good luck trying to get them to now create that food chain all the way down. God forbid that they don't even see themselves better than, you know, the painters, and now the painters or remodelers or the drywallers are walking all over them.
Well said, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I love it. That being said, I think that's all our time for today here. Jimmy, if you guys want to figure out what it might look like to work with us, we'll have some links down below. Thank you all for listening. We do appreciate each and every one of you.
100%. Thank you.
We'll see you in the next, and have a good one.
Cheers.